Hi guys, I'm on such a roll with this book that I'm just like, it's so late, but I just want to get this book. I like I just need a chapter with Jasper, so we're reading one more chapter, chapter 8. And before we get on to that, grab your phone or your parents' phone with their permission, or just chat some people, or mail a letter. I mean, why not? And be like, go subscribe to Oh No Man's Journey audiobooks. She puts out such actually, just be honest, whatever you want to say. And so, yeah, thank you guys for listening. And we're gonna get right into it. It starts on page 93. Oh, and chapter 8. This is Kelsey Rodkey's Last Chance book, so let's get into it. The best part of having a food truck parked outside B&M is surprisingly not the food, but instead the fact that it blocks my entire view of Prologue, and therefore Jasper Hamada's stupid smirk. Not that I've seen much of it in the last 2 weeks while planning for tonight anyway. Just a few instances of glaring from across the street, slightly less intense sign wars than before, in order of unpaid veggie pizzas, but the joke was on Jasper. I love veggie pizza, and I'd forgotten my lunch that day. It's been nice focusing on this event, instead of war with Prologue or Dolly's incessant attempts at being friends. I've barely seen her, too, and we lived together. I did lose the bet, though. Benny rubs it in my face every time he happens to be around Dolly and me at the same time, which hasn't been much. He gives me a cheeky grin and says, "Hi, Dolly, I fancy seeing you here," and then he whispers still to me. I'm not sold on the fact that she'll be staying, though, and it's one of those I'll believe it when I see it things. I try to think about the $20 forked over to try not to think of the $20 I forked over to Benny could have bought 2 burritos and a brownie, 1 or 2, or even 3 books depending where I got them. A new pair of jeans, gas for the next 2 weeks, the list could go on forever. Today's event, while meticulous, planned by Melissa and me under the reluctant help of Astrid, could still be a flop for so many reasons. Right now, the main cause for concern is the weather. Melissa's doing food prep in her truck, her window and door open so she won't cook herself alive in the heat, and I worry people won't be interested in hot food today. We're having the event from noon until 3:30, and it's Saturday, so we're hoping whoever is out shopping will take a moment to get some lunch and maybe come inside where it's air-conditioned and check out Melissa's, or literally any other book. If someone buys her book, though, B&M will get 10% of the profit, which turns out to be like $1. But still, I'm tweaking our dry erase. Wait, if it's $1, she bought the book for $15. So the lady sold it to her for more. Wow. I'm tweaking our dry erase board to read "Purchase Finding My Identity with Food and receive water bottle and excuse to bask in AC." When Dahlia enters through the front door, all smiles. It's probably her 3rd time in the store in as many weeks despite her last name being on the building. She's wearing bright orange wedge sandals, cuffed light blue jeans with holes in the knees, and a white V-neck that was probably tailored for her torso because she read about that in a magazine once. She told me so twice while criticizing my own wardrobe for all the untrendy holes and faded colors most of my clothes sport. Yet she still steals my clothes. "Hey, Maddie," Madeline. She raises her eyebrows at me like I'm going to give her praise for catching herself after the fact. I feel it better when she just calls me kid, because at least then it feels like we have the right amount of distance between us, familiar strangers. Are you excited? I lift the sign with some effort and bypass her with a tight smile until I'm pushing through the door and I can let the expression drop as heavily as the sign does. Make sure to place it in an inconvenient spot right in the middle of the sidewalk so people have to acknowledge it when they walk by. Maybe they'll feel guilty. It's what I'm looking for. Roger arrives while I'm looking over the sign for any spelling mistakes or letters that could be written more strongly. "Reporting for duty, ma'am," he says, saluting me with one hand. His other holds a plate of what looks like homemade white chocolate macadamia nut cookies, a daring and somewhat problematic choice. "Where's the water?" I asked, wiping my sweaty palms on my thighs. "What? We agreed last night that you buy water on the way here. The bulk kind." His eyes widened. "Oh, crap." "Ravi," I tried to glare at the cookies. "I'll for sure end up eating 1 or 4, but I can't forgive him for showing up with something other than we agreed on." Melissa leans out her window. "I'm just about all set up with cold and hot options. Ready?" "No." We probably won't get a customer as soon as Melissa starts taking orders, but there are 2 people waiting for food already. Apparently she has a large social media presence, thanks mostly to her teenage son Matt, who makes surprisingly funny memes. He's helping her in the truck today when he's not staring at my boobs. Normally, I'd be grossed out or even flattered. For me, there's a fine line between the two. But today I don't even care. I'm too stressed and it's too hot, so a loose camisole is what I'm working with, even though it puts my entire torso on full display. I'm going to get some water, but start taking orders," I tell her. I turn to Ravi and, against my better judgment, say, "You're in charge until Astrid or I get here." I run into the store, ignoring Dahlia's. "Can I help with something?" as she sits uselessly on the counter and grabs my small crossbody bag from the staff room. I grab my small crossbody bag from the staff room. I pass Robbie on the way outside. "Don't listen to Dahlia. You're in charge." The closest place that sells water is conveniently located just around the corner, but so unfortunately located on the corner of Jasper's side. Carrying 2 large cases of water to the store is certainly going to put a strain on my back and arms. But what makes the situation worse is that I'm working, and I know Jasper's working because his car pulled into and quickly out of the reserved parking spot for Melissa's truck as soon as he arrived this morning. I was half a minute away from going out and yelling at him, maybe kicking at his sleek Mazda 3 because dealing with the parking authority for the permit was no joke, but he saw the sign and actually decided to be a decent human being. I don't have the time, patience, or energy to get the water and have to deal with him seeing me and making me spend money I don't have at his terrible store. I should have sent Robbie, but the thought of dealing with Dahlia and the potential lack of customers at the same time was not an appealing one. Plus, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. I look left and right and left again before running across the street and sliding between parked cars. I swing around the block and into the convenience store. I lug 2 cases of water to the register, and I'm out within 3 minutes. Before I take the corner, I set the cases down on the hot sidewalk. I pull out my phone and text for help. A shadow falls over me. "Hey, hi, do you need help?" The guy is Asian, kind of bulky, like he's intimately aware of what a gym is, and maybe half a foot taller than me. He's wearing Nikes, a tight shirt, and a smile with a bit mischief in the corner as he lazily spins his car keys around his finger. The smile twitches like it's about to disappear forever. The smile twitches like it's about to disappear forever. My stare is probably freaking him out. "What?" I ask. He nods to the case of water. "Do you need help putting those into your car?" Glance at the waters and then peek around the corner to B&M, barely visible from behind Melissa's big silver food truck. I hate that I'm so worried to step foot on Jasper's side of Oak Street. This was my favorite street before it was half his. "Do you work?" I point at the convenience store behind me. He laughs. "No, sorry. I saw you put them down and they looked heavy." I consider his offer. They are heavy, especially 2. I can't imagine even picking up one right now when holding my phone is draining what little energy I have left. If ever an arm muscle were unlucky enough to find its way onto my body, I'd handcuff it and threaten its family to keep it there. "That's really nice of you, but I can get someone to help me. I'm taking them to my job across the street." I point vaguely across the direction of B&M through the brick wall of Carson Convenience. "Oh," he says, perking up. "Do you work on the food shop? I've always thought that would be a cool job." "No." "Luke?" I peek around the guy's frame enough even though I know and dread who the voice belongs to. What are you doing? Jasper asks. I'm not sure if he's talking to Luke or to me. Oh crap, then it hits me. Is this beefy dude another homida? I'm just going to help her with her waters, then I'll be there. Jasper hesitates a moment as Luke turns back to me and bends to grab both cases at the same time. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't extremely impressive. Where to? He asks, barely winded. The shop around the corner, Jasper says, coming to a stop next to Luke and straightening the hipster suspenders he's wearing. Books and more. Luke raises an eyebrow at Jasper, then turns to me. Mouth open a little, a smirk starts forming, apparently a family trait, but Luke's is without a scar to conceal. So, this is Madeline, huh? He readjusts his hand on the water so he's creating them in one arm, like it's no big deal, and offers me a hand to shake. I take it out of pure shock that he can hold both cases like that, and from fear that him waiting on me will cause them to fall. Hi, I'm Luke, Jasper's brother. I knew it! Holy crap! This is bad. I'm excited though. It's probably the older brother that's like 19 or something, and he's just like, snatched. Okay, sorry. Luke is technically the enemy, but he's been so polite that I really can't help smiling back. Jasper avoids my eyes. Luke knowing my name means Jasper's talked about me before. I mean, I talked about Jasper before I knew him. He was the enemy. Okay, and after I knew he was the enemy, but that was so about him. Does he talk about me to his family? I can only imagine. Madeline the book troll from Books and More put my phone number on their display sign today. Madeline the chubby pest from Books and More ran into me today and gave me my shirt one whole wrinkle. Nice to meet you, I say, stomping down my desire to flee. I can handle the waters, but thanks. Luke can definitely handle the waters, though. He's already been standing with them in one hand longer than I had with two hands. Jasper steps toward his brother, holding out his arms for the waters. Dad's waiting for you to start the staff meeting. I'll take them. My feet certainly don't make any effort to step forward, so I take the cases. But I say, I've got them. Luke hesitates for a moment, like he's not sure who to give the waters to, but he could stand around waiting all day without breaking a sweat over it. Maybe the homidas don't sweat. Jasper pulls the cases from his brother's arm and takes off around the corner without a word. As soon as Jasper's foot touches the asphalt of Oak Street, he speeds up, but I latch onto one suspender strap, pulling him back as a car rushes by. It had been completely blocked out by the parked SUV Jasper was walking in front of him, but I saw it coming from the sidewalk. This idiot is going to get himself hit one of these days. He looks at me over his shoulder, something unreadable flickering in his eyes. Thanks, he says in a breathless voice. I look around him, right and left and right again, before letting go and crossing the street. When we arrive at B&M, there's a line of at least 4 people waiting for food, and I spot Dolly inside, talking to someone I don't recognize. Oh crap, probably a customer, and it's not just them and Ravi either. There are at least 3 other people I can see. I lay a hand on Jasper's shoulder and stop him from entering the store. Out here is fine, thanks. He places the cases on the ground with more care than I did before. You didn't have to help. I know, he says, looking toward Melissa's truck, but I wanted to see what's going on over here. I needed an excuse. Hasn't stopped me before. Your rules have stopped me before. Rules? I bat my lashes in innocence. He narrows his eyes. Don't be cute. You have to buy a book from Prologue. You were on my side of the street. I want to argue that I meant for the rules to be like if I were over there trying to sabotage the store, like with coupons or something. But I know, even if I were helping an old lady across the street to decide, I'd hold him to buying a book. Maybe if I can distract him. I can't help it. Help what? I shrug, knowing my next words are a gamble. Being cute. I pause. A pause takes place in which I fear I've taken my last non-blush breath in front of Jasper Hamada. Then he smirks. What about humble? I scowl and pull cash from my bag. All I have is $5. My last $5 until I have my meager paycheck. Here, get one of your co-workers with taste to pick me out a used book and send it over. I bend for one of those cases of water, but spin back to Jasper, who stares at the money. If you got nothing for that price, which I'm sure you don't, you'll have to deal. I take the waters inside the store and don't go back outside until I'm sure he's left. I'm not sure what or who I have to thank, but something was working today. Maybe it was all Matt's doing because he's a little social media savant who we should consider hiring him. Dolly even managed to stay sequestered on the sidelines for most of it, content with not having to help, but also being able to give off the vibes that she has something to do with the event whenever she managed to rope someone into talking with her. Zelda shows up for her regular 4 to 9 shift after one of those family-friendly middle-of-the-day graduation parties she was invited to, and Ravi stuck around an extra hour just to see the sales total and to pick Melissa's brain on her recipes. Astrid revealed with one of her squinty smiles that B&M should scrape by our new monthly sales goal. Even with the waters and Melissa's cut taken out and 9 days left in the month, I double-checked our numbers and estimates before getting too relieved. But it was a success. We returned our store into an event, and it paid off. We know how to build a cushion to work with from now on. So now, as Zelda and I sit in the staff room, stabbing what's left of Melissa's thank you cake with a fork, and Astrid and Dahlia are more realistically just Astrid to close up the store, I dare to think of the possibilities. Close up the store. One event a month could keep us afloat, possibly. They'd have to be incredible events that never get redundant, or maybe we could lean into redundancy and host book clubs and writing groups. Most certainly wouldn't hurt to make connections with other small business owners in town, especially the ones selling food. Positive collaborators will bring positive word of mouth and mutually beneficial outcomes. I want to chase the feeling of success, even if it was small, for as long as I can. I slide a fork full of cake into my mouth as Zelda groans again, holding her stomach. Her nausea won't scare me off. The cake's still moist and sweet despite having been sitting out for hours. It looks like a pack of wolves got to it before me. But I don't even care. I couldn't eat lunch because my nerves were so high, and then there wasn't time because we actually had customers to take care of. I sold all our copies of the Discontent series and ordered in 3 more of the first book and the new cover for the customers, even though they wouldn't be out for nearly 2 months. I even chatted with a girl my age who was so excited for the move that she nearly started happy crying. New covers, movie. I pushed the sales reports away to unearth my phone. What the heck? Zelda says as the papers fall into her lap. I shush her and visit Isla Warbeck's website, clicking her tour link. She's out promoting the books before the movie comes out this summer, and it looks like she'll be closest to my area at the end of August, 2 months from now. She's wrapping up her tour in Philly, her hometown. But theoretically, if I could get in touch with her agent or PR person, maybe I could get Books and More's in little old Mecklenburg added to her tour. It's only 2 hours away. Mads, what's up? Zelda asked, watching me as a smile splits across my face. I have an idea. I'm halfway out of my seat to tell Astrid about my plan when she and Dahlia come into the room. Astrid looks cautious. Dahlia looks like she just learned she can breathe money into existence. We have good news, Dahlia says. From their expressions, I can tell that it's good news for Dahlia only. Maybe her agent called her another big break and she'll leave. Same, I'm unable to hold it back any longer. Dahlia cuts me off, throwing her arms wide open as if I'm going to rush into her for a hug. I'm the newest member of Books and More staff. I can't wait to work with you all summer. She pulls me into a hug, that I don't reciprocate, as I glare at Astrid over Dahlia's shoulder. Behind me, Zelda chokes back a laugh. Do we really have the money for another staff member, Astrid? I ask tightly. I'm working for free. Duh, Dahlia says. I just feel like I never see you because you're always here. I grit my teeth. Problem solved. Alright guys, thank you guys for listening. That was the end of chapter 8. So we'll be on chapter 9 next week, which starts on page 105. Thank you guys for listening. It means so much. Please tell other people you know to hop on here, listen to my audiobook channel, get your phone out, text them. I just want to build a family here. So thank you guys for listening. I'm going to upload these now and go to bed. So thank you guys again. That was crazy. I'm just saying, I've had those moments before when, like, or have you, I guess, like, had those moments where, like, you have your time away from, like, the house, and you're chilling, and you're able to, like, flirt with a guy, or, like, make some friends, and then your parents or family members get involved, and you're just like, what? I don't know if that's happened to anyone else, but that's happened to me, and it's like, yo, I don't mean to be rude, but I kind of just want to flirt with this guy by myself, so don't steal him. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying, so subscribe, like the video, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!